As an 18-year-old kid, I was lucky enough to march with Dr. King through the streets of Roxbury outside of Boston. And we were all given a sheet to read beforehand of how we should handle ourselves, because the folks at Roxbury had been in the busing thing and they were going to be very hostile. But the thing that I remember at the beginning, it was the most inclusive thing I ever felt in my life in terms of the love that was spread, black, white, everything. And how have we lost that?
Wait.
What happened? That sense of we're all in this together.
Thank you for your question, because not just along racial divisions, but also political divisions. We are a deeply divided country, and the parties have to figure out how to talk to each other. So, Clarence, do you have any advice?
Yeah, I have some comment. I think that's a very astute observation. In fact, I think that his general comment about the so-called social justice, the civil rights movement today, he would be very, very dismayed by the apparent absence of what were major leaders and major components of our social justice movement and the civil rights. Substantial number of white people, white youth, and let me break it down. Among those whites, a substantial number of Jewish people. It saddens me because I was there and I was an active part of it. And I've said this to I've said this to my Jewish contemporaries, lawyers and other people, Palo Alto, that one of the things that enabled the success of the civil rights movement was a coalition of the African American and the white community during that period. And that part of the white community that was most active was the Jewish community. So where are they? Second thing, I said, now I know the labor movement is not as large as it was before, but there seems to be an absence of labor speaking out. And then the thing I have the most criticism of, and I was very refreshed this earlier today when I went and heard Adam Hamilton. You know the Hamilton, right? Yeah, I was very. By the way, he's invited me. You know that. He's invited me to come and preach and resurrect. You know I'm going to do that, right?
Bishop Hamilton. Huh? Yes.
Go ahead, okay. But what I'm trying to say is that, we wouldn't have been able to pass the Civil Rights Bill in 1964 with the active participant of religious leaders. I'm talking about the National Council of Churches, the Congregation of Jewish Synagogues, a whole group, National Baptist Convention. We had a whole group of active religious leaders. Where are they? Where are they? Now, I have to tell you, last year, I was right at the same place, right in Aspen. I had a chance to meet for about 3 or 4 hours with the leaders of the Black Lives Matter movement. About 6, maybe about 10 of them, and just me, just sit in the room. I think it was actually in the cook room. We met for about 2.5, almost 3 hours. And during part of the discussion, I said, the reason I'm telling you this, I said to them, when we, meaning Dr. King and the Civil Rights Movement, when we marched and did what we did, enabling the passage of, 64 Civil Rights Act, Voting Rights Act, and all of the changes, the I Have a Dream speech, and raising the level of the consciousness of America about ending racial segregation, we genuinely believe that what we were doing would make unnecessary what you're doing today. I said that. And do you know one of those young women came over to me and burst into tears? And she says, well, Dr. Jones, are you saying that you think you failed? I said, no. I'm just telling you that that's what we believed. And I said, for you to be successful, from where we left off, there were certain things that you need to learn from Dr. King's legacy. And the most important thing I want to share with you is this question of violence, okay? And I said, he was spiritually committed to nonviolence. Persons like me, I was not committed to nonviolence. I was pragmatic. In fact, we don't have time for that, but when I first joined Martin Luther King Jr., I made it very clear I was not committed to nonviolence. You know, I was 29 years old. I'd just been in the United States Army, and my attitude was, a white dude hits me, he's going down. Oh, Clarence, you can't do that. I said, well, I will. He says, that's why I can't have you in any demonstration. Well, I wasn't. And the point is, but I said to them. So I got in, I had my own Come to Jesus movement. Particularly in 1967, I came to understand, I came really committed that that's the baddest man on earth, and I will follow him to the end of the earth, nonviolently, because I just had my own personal transformation. But the point I said to them, I said, let me tell you why nonviolence is so effective. I'm not going to try to spend a lot of time trying to persuade you philosophically or spiritually. That you have to do on your own. But I'm going to tell you why the use of nonviolence is so powerful politically. Because if you have a powerful movement, if you have a movement and a powerful message, the first thing the people who are opposed to your message will try to do is to provoke and incite you to violence. You know why? Because they want the violence to obscure the substance of your message. Okay? Okay? So you don't even have to be personally committed to nonviolence. You can be as bad as I am. Think, you know, when I was younger. But you have to be politically. And I said, that was the genius of Martin Luther King Jr.